Hey everybody, welcome back to Guitars Plus. It's Trevor here with another Just the Tip. Today we have a diamond in the rough, nay, a gem in the shop. This is a really cool stock, 1988 Ibanez gem. You may have seen it in our front window. We've had a lot of lollygaggers getting whiplash, staring at this thing saying, hey, is that thing original? And we've been very happy to say, yes, it is very original. This is a very, very cool guitar that we're very happy to have. So what this is a 1988 JEM77 FP. The FP stands for floral pattern. And what that actually is a fabric top. So they have the body, they lay the fabric over top, saturate it with epoxy, and then they do a clear coat. And in the right light, you can actually kind of see the woven pattern of the fabric. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this guitar apart to clean it up. It needs a little bit of work. I'm also gonna validate its authenticity, pickups, electronics, everything like that. Colton is going to give us a bit of a history lesson on the uniqueness of this instrument in the guitar world and do a little bit of playing. This is going to be up for sale, so follow the link down in the description over to our Reverb page, and you can shop for it there. But let's get it on the bench. Let's go. So while this thing looks in great condition in its current state, up close and personal, there's a lot of work to do. The frets have oxidized quite a bit. They almost look like rough gold Evo. But we're gonna make those shine up, check them all for level, crown, polish, make that nice and pretty. There's a lot of crumbs and something underneath the pick guard, so even though I don't need to access the electronics through the top, because there's a back plate, I still need to take this guy off and just clean under there because that's looking dirty. Someone has blocked off this trem, so we're gonna remove that, clean up a lot of the fasteners here with this Ibanez Edge tremolo. And there's a bit of sweat, blood, and tears on the fingerboard and the back of the neck, so we're going to clean that up as well too. There's lots to scrape, shine, polish, and bring this thing back up to excellent working order. We will check the electronics as well to make sure that they're stock and clean them up if we have any scratchiness. So let's dive into it. So taking everything off, hardware, I'm checking over everything, blocks, truss rod, all this stuff. I want to clean under this pick guard because there's some dander or something under there. But this is a great opportunity to see what kind of pickups we've got in here. Very carefully. Do we have any slack in this? Looks like we have a bit. Okay, so what we see under there is DiMarzio pickup, made in USA. Under the neck. We're seeing the same text under the bridge. Let's see. All right, move your feet. Yes, so we see a DiMarzio there. So we've got original DiMarzios. Just going to use some Music Nomad. This is the big tech bottle, but we sell the smaller stuff here at the shop. Really great tools for this are these cleaners. We have these guys, these little brushes. That's kind of little makeup brush, cleans a lot of the dust. But these guys are really great for getting in these narrow spots and also cleaning in between little parts of the pickup cavity area. So basically it's a little bit of scrub-a-dub with some proper products, and that'll make short work of this awkward little spot. All right, so we are going to take this tremolo out and clean it up because it has a lot of oxidation. So we'll have to take off this this plate, which prevents the springs from coming loose. Keen-eyed viewers may also see that the claw is all the way in the body. So we are going to not do that and bring this back to a floating tremolo status. And also trying to unload the tension on those springs with the claw fully inserted into the body. Would be a great recipe for a scratch. So all you want to do is back off the tension on the claw to somewhere a bit more reasonable, like such. Take a toothed needle nose plier, and I'm going to grab 1, 2, oh, come on baby, there we go, and number 3. Now this is going to pop out, so make sure you got your hand under there to catch it, because again, you don't want any rattling. Here we are. And then you can see the trim's just going to fall out, but you want a controlled fall, like such. And then we will make sure that nothing gets scratched or miffed. This is just a little block for right now. I'm going to set that to a side. And that gives us access to the Floyd Rose little lion claw recess, which is also full of what seems to be dog hair. So we're going to clean that up as well. Nothing special about this, just more Music Nomad and Q-tips. There's nothing romantic about that, but we're going to have a closer look at this Edge trim. Take it all apart, oil it, clean it, and really, bring it back to its full glory. So we've taken apart the Ibanez Edge from Japan. These have a number of impressive qualities, better than a Floyd Rose, in my opinion. One of the things, you can see the recess just right there on the side, so that is a replaceable knife edge. A lot of times what you'll see is these knife edges get really worn out, but we're really fortunate in this case. You can see that these ones are in great shape. Obviously, you have the 3 screws on top to change the block. The block is a little bit smaller. I think it's about 35 mil as opposed to something a bit heavier. It's just little stuff on the machining front. So things like this edge is not just it's not just flat. These holes for the 3 holes for the springs are on an angle so that they bite, but then they've also just chamfered the edge of this block so that it just bites in a bit better. So springs don't pop out on you. And then plus the locking feature, it's just a bonus. The ability to take off this plate where the set screws for the intonation saddles can also be altered. That's a huge plus, because if those strip out on a Floyd, you have to replace the whole base plate. On the edge here, just replace it, good to go. What we're going to do is we're going to go through all the components. I'm going to check all the blocks, all the saddles. We're going to give all these a bit of a clean. They can look a little bit rusty, but it's got a good base. I'm not too worried about the condition of these. Just a quick tip. You can take some 3-in-1 oil and a really light abrasive, like a 1,000 grit sandpaper, and you just put it on there. The oil acts like a lubricant, and you can see it's just a rusty old fastener like this gets cleaned up very quickly. The penetrating oil kind of goes into the screw, pores get open a little bit. It's a great way to clean up anything that might have just got a bit of oxidation from sweat. Q-tips are also really great just for getting spunk and junk out of the recesses, but after just a bit of working, clean it up with a cloth, just get all the oils off. Your hands are going to get dirty, but that's my job, not yours. And voila, you have a really nice, clean looking set screw. So I'm going to go through all of those. You can see that we've got a few of these that are a little oxidized. I'm going to spend a bit of time to clean up all these little fasteners, washers. I'm going to do my best to get in all to the saddles, check all the blocks. Doesn't look too bad. So, but just making sure we don't lose those. All of this stuff's going to be original. We're going to check all of these and get this edge performing as best as possible. I'm going to jump over to the fingerboard now. These frets have definitely been oxidized over a long period of time, probably just sitting in the case. We're very lucky that they have little to no fret wear, no dimpling, especially in the first few frets. And everything seems to be fine, like no sprouting, no nothing. So hopefully it's just a polishing game. But I'm going to check for level and go through all the frets, crown, polish, get this thing nice and shiny, oil the fingerboard. For that, I like using, again, Music Nomad, big shout out, F1 oil. This stuff is really great. We have it, this is the tech size bottle, which I go through all the time. But we have the smaller stuff. What's nice about this is it's oil and petroleum free, so if you use some shop cloth like we do, it's not going to catch fire, which is a big plus, fire hazard. It's also not so rough on your hands because I'm using it all day. But it's also just a really good cleaner. We'll bring this fingerboard back to life once we get these frets done. So let's jump into that and make this neck purdy again. We're going to use one of these handy dandy fret guards and clicks right in place. That way I can use successive grits of sandpaper, just polish these up, some steel wool, and then some polishing, and oil the fingerboard, and we'll get this guy nice and shiny. Oh yeah, bring the gem back to life. Whew, this fingerboard is really thirsty. So I'm going to clean up the claw here. That's just Q-tips and elbow grease. Basically just polishing a lot of this kind of front face, and then we'll do the old flipperoo, open up the back cavity, check everything in there, see what's under the hood. Okay, so we're gonna open up the back cavity plates here. Let's have a looky-loo. And it looks pretty stock in there. So we have an import style switch with components kind of 4 and 4. Looks like original capacitor, original pot, like everything looks to be stock in here. It's DiMarzio color codes, just definitely faded, which matches the proclivity of the pickup's age. We've got a small little treble bleed circuit sort of thing on the volume knob there with a small little cap as well. So out of the gate looks to be stock, and everything was working when we took the strings off. So just gonna clean up with some contact cleaner and double check. From what I gathered, these are kind of low output pickups. They're not the real hot shredders that are kind of known for these types of guitars. So this is the neck pickup, 8.35, and then we head down to a 2.4, middle position. The single coil will be 5.3. Position 2 after that will be 2.3, followed by the bridge being 7.98. So a quick history on these. These are basically the neck and the bridge are the same pickup. And what we're seeing here on the 7.9 on the bridge and the 8.3 on the neck is essentially just the winding tolerances, I guess, of the late 80s DiMarzio team. So usually the higher resistance pickup would be in the bridge position, but there you go. So this guitar is a little unique, and it'll be interesting to hear how this guy sounds once we crank it through that the amp for the sound samples. So we're almost ready to put some strings onto this guy. However, there's a few components that have a little bit of spunk onto them, and it's a little tricky because you want something that is abrasive enough to clean the surface, but not enough that it'll do any damage to components. So what I found that works best are these little fret rubbers. We use them on the frets to buff and polish, and they have they're kind of built in with enough abrasive to do the job here. So you can see even just after a few moments here, this just really brings those poles back to life. You can use them on the single coil. I've already done that to kind of get through all and around those edges. But you can see it on the bridge here, which takes a real brunt of the beating, how quick and short work it makes. So I've only done these 3 poles, and you can compare them just between the 2 bobbins. That's just a few seconds of elbow grease. I'm gonna spend a bit of time here and just clean all that up. And then we'll get to restringing. All right, so we got strings onto it. We have the tremolo floating now. I'm gonna let it settle for a little bit just because I don't know how long this guitar has been without tension, so a lot of things could change. Strings could break in, truss rod will move a little bit, springs in the back might just need a bit of working, but otherwise, we've got a JEM up and running. So we're gonna pass this off to Colton, and he's gonna do a bit of a history lesson on this guy, and we're gonna go from there.
Hey everybody, it's Colton here, and today I'm going to give you a little bit of history on the Ibanez JEM77 FP that we have. In 1986, Steve Vai was a bit of a free agent on the guitar market, and he had recently joined up with David Lee Roth to do his first 2 solo albums. Ibanez approached and said that they would build Steve exactly what he wanted, no matter what. A lot of the specs that we see as standard on the JEM came from an amalgamation of other guitars that he had played previously, like his Stratocaster, the Green Meanie Charvel, and the performance guitar that he had made in New York. Things like the Lion Claw, which allow you to pull back on the tremolo, allowing you to go down and up. Obviously, the signature monkey grip, kind of one of those features that nobody can copy. We have 24 frets, and they are partially scalloped up here at the 21st to 24th fret, allowing for huge bends, which Vai is known for. The HSH pickup configuration was sort of standardized on the JEMs, with a 5-way lever allowing you to access both humbucker and strat in between tones. Before Steve Vai had the hotter DiMarzio Evolution pickups made, he was using the Path Pros in both the neck and the bridge position. This is an interesting setup because they're basically the same output level, and then the middle is a JEM single coil that was wound proprietary for these guitars by DiMarzio. Finally, Ibanez's own Edge tremolo made by Godo is a massive improvement over the original Floyds of the time. The JEM series of guitars really brought Ibanez to the forefront, as well as Japanese manufacturing for other guitar brands. Many American companies started import lines from Japan, and they were seen as very high quality guitars that oftentimes rivaled their American counterparts. Ibanez was now playing with the big boys, and they had shed all the baggage from their lawsuit era. Let's go plug the 1988 Ibanez JEM77 FP into a Bad Cat and hear how it sounds.
Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I did, taking this guitar apart, putting it back together, and really seeing this unique instrument that sits so well in Ibanez history, Steve Vai history, and just guitar history. If you want to add this guitar to your collection, follow the link down in the description, or you can give the shop a call and we can definitely make a deal. This closes another episode of Just the Tip with Trevor. This is an Ibanez JEM77 FP, up for sale now. Thanks for watching.